Everyone was a little bit laid back this morning and we nearly missed it. So I went, oh, 2, 1, quick. Fabulous. Welcome to live shopping this morning on this fabulous Wednesday morning. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all going to have a fabulous day. I've not quite got any words this morning because a lot of the MDF's gone. So first of all, let me tell you where you can watch us and how to shop, because I think this is going to be a bit manic this morning, but in a good way. So get the product in your basket, get it checked out. I've got lots of goodies that you can add in, loads of fabulous USBs with papers on that have all been knocked down in price. We've got some cracking things for you, so not to worry. So you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you're shopping with us on a social media platform, I'm going to give you a code, and all you're going to do is type shop and then that code into the comments underneath the live video stream, okay? So you don't need to miss a second of the show because you can shop while you watch, which is brilliant. Then you're going to get a message to your social media inbox that says thank you for your order, because can't tell you how much we appreciate when you shop with us or just watch us. It's fabulous. And in that message, there will be a link. When you're ready to check out, click on that link. That will take you to highlightcrafts.com. Log into your account. That's really important. If you haven't got an account with us yet at Highlight Crafts, please make one because it's free to do so, and it automatically makes you a member of our Highlight Club, which is brilliant. No fee, no annual subscription, nobody taking £10 out your bank without knowing about it, none of that. But you will get the benefits of being a club member, which is extra discount, loyalty points, and on a basket spend over £35, free P&P, which is brilliant. If you're shopping with us on the website, highlightcrafts.com, you can use the shop code if that's what you prefer to do, or you can just click add to basket and that will pop it into a basket for you. Once you've got something in that basket, you'll see a little shopping bag, in red shopping bag at the top. Click on that and that will take you through that checkout process. But again, remember to log in. We want to give you as best dealer that we possibly can, and we do that by you becoming a club member as well, which is great. Right, okay, so let's start with, well, I'm going to talk you through what we were going to do.
There's only one wardrobe left, that's it.
There's only one wardrobe left. The desk tidy's gone. And we've got,
Bob's box is gone.
And the bits and, oh, okay. Right, I'm still going to tell you how this came to be. So I've always wanted to do SVG files that go with MDF, and I've never been able to find anybody that would jump on board with that idea. So we're doing it now here. Now we only managed to get a limited amount of them cut in time, but what you will get is a download with all your files on it, okay? So every piece for the outsides of the boxes will have an SVG cutting file that coordinates with each piece of MDF, okay? Now, to go with that, so I sat down and we worked all the files out, so they'll all be in order. So you go into wardrobe, you'll see the wardrobe, you'll see the plinth, you'll see all those different files, and you literally cut them out of your favourite papers, which is fantastic. So there's a little bit of sanding because you just want to clean up those edges occasionally, but brilliant, brilliant product. So on top of that, what I did when these came in is I wrote on each one what the pieces were, and Andrew photographed them for them yesterday, but then, bless him, he decided to do it as a proper download for you, change it from my scrawly handwriting, so you know that when you lay those sheets out, you know which piece is which, and therefore you know where you want to position that shape on your papers. We've done exactly the same with the desk tidy and exactly the same with the wardrobe panels as well. So you've got all of that information, so it makes it super, super, super easy. And the files are named the same as these, okay? So everything makes sense. I wanted you to literally be able to sit down, scan your papers in, position your shapes, cut them out and glue. Also, you're also going to get a free 500ml bottle of wood glue. Now, you can use this. I put some into one of the pin flare bookbinding tubs and used a spatula because I found it easier. But you're going to have to be fast if you want that last wardrobe because literally there is one left. And this is lovely. So you can have it, and it's kind of modular if you like. So you can have the wardrobe by itself, and I've put the little clasps on, and we do have the clasps on the show. I painted it inside. I've got hints and tips on the best way to paint your MDF, and then that little closure just closes it. These plinths are separate to the drawers, so you could have a whole stack of these drawers if you wanted to, and then the plinth on top. You could just put that on top of there if you wanted a smaller piece. Maybe it's for your change when you come through the front door, or maybe it's for your keys or all those bits and bobs, but you want something that looks pretty. So that's the wardrobe. That's the only one we've got left. If you want it, it is shop wardrobe. It's $24.99. You get your free bottle of glue with it worth $6.99. You also get your downloadable SVGs, and you get your printout so that you know which piece is which, because I would have found that really frustrating otherwise. So I wanted to make it super simple for you. So shop wardrobe. Next bit gone. Right, okay. Moving on.
They're asking if we can get more stock for 11 a.m. Sorry.
I know. Listen, 20 to 9 last night, we were ringing the guy who cut the MDF for us, and the answer was, we're going to the shows. We can probably do another 10 pretty quickly, but apart from that, we can't guarantee it. So we're not going to guarantee that we can get more or give you a date. We can get more, but we just don't know when. And rather than promising and then having to let you down, we'd rather bring it back when it's back in stock and we've got a good quantity. So I apologise profusely. We had what he could make in the time. Carl's on it, as you can imagine. But yes, going forward, we will be doing a lot more of this, because I love the fact that you get those SVG files. I think it's just fabulous. Right, I'm going to go down the counter. I'm going to tell you what everything else that we've got. Andrew, what?
Spin.
Spin. We're going to spin the wheel. Have we got a winner first? Oh, no, we need to type spin. Sorry. That's interrupting my flow, man. Give me a minute.
Sorry.
Right. We're going to do spin the wheel this morning. Twice. So type spin into the comments. We've got a wheel. Look at this. The wheel of chance. Honestly. I'll be coming in high heels and sequins next and doing a Debbie McGee. Not in a million years. Right, so we spin the wheel. Type spin into the comments. Andrew will then pick a winner. We spin the wheel and we'll see what you win. And then in the second half, we'll do another one as well, which will be really cool. Right, I'm going to move on now because we need to talk to you about this. If you want the wood glue by itself, 500 ml, so half a litre of the wood glue, which is brilliant. Shop wood, $6.99. Okay, that might be something you want to add into glue all your MDF together. Right, next, gesso. Now then, this black product, this black gesso and the white one was what I used first day when we went to the Cadence training before lockdown, when we first went over. And we used this in conjunction with the cut and use foam. And we had this massive circle of MDF like that. And it was all sectioned off, and we did different techniques in each section. It was brilliant. But the thing that impressed me the most about the gesso is literally you picked it up on your sponge. We weren't like that, top to bottom of that big circle, and it covered beautifully. I cannot recommend this gesso enough. It's absolutely superb quality. Lou Withers, who is a master of paint, I mean, she's done so many things that nobody knows about in her career that is just really phenomenal. Shop Gesso loves this gesso, and she will have used lots and lots and lots of different brands. This is the one that she loves to use now. So Shop Gesso, Cadence black and white gesso, twin pack, $11.99. Okay, so Shop Gesso. Right, now then, made of metal. These are brilliant, and we've been trying to source things like this for a long, long time. 10% of this is now allocated and in people's baskets. You can paint it with your Cadence paints. You're going to put a thin layer on and then heat it to dry it, and then go over the top, and you almost use a brush but pounce the paint on so you get that nice finish. And if I just bring this wardrobe back in here, you can see that's been covered with the silver metallic paint. Isn't that lovely? And then that'll just close. That'll then go, oh, bear with, let's get that up there first. That goes in there, and that seals your wardrobe doors together. I think they're lovely. And the fact that you can recolour them makes such a difference, okay? So you're going to get a lot. Now, I've used these, so I used one on there, and I used a couple on the little drawers at the front. I've used them on here. Even though these don't open, I just thought it was really nice to have that hardware on that. It makes it look like a piece of furniture then, not just an MDF piece, and it makes a massive difference. I think it's fantastic, and we're going to try and source more stuff like this because it's just brilliant. So this is what's left of mine after I've done all this. You even get little bags of screws. Now, if you don't want to screw into the MDF, just use something like your Pinflair glue gel, or the glue gel that John next door sells, whichever you prefer, but you need a strong glue. And you can screw them in if you want to, but I'd be using these on my mixed media projects, on my steampunk projects, in my shaker cards for men, because that'd be really cool. But you get all of this lot in 2 packs, hinges, you get locks, you get little mechanisms, all sorts, and they're super, super cool. Shop Metal, $19.99, gets you both bags. That's amazing value for money, because metal furniture like this is really expensive. So while we've got it on that deal, grab those. Shop Metal. Right, now then, rice paper. So if you're somebody that is on that mixed media journey, you love your Cadence products and you want to print your own rice papers to cover your MDF, I would recommend painting the MDF first, and I've got a tip for that as well that I worked out this week, which is super cool. This is our pure print rice paper from Craft Master. You get 20 sheets. It's super smooth. It's brilliant product. We print it all the time on just a regular inkjet printer. Leave it to dry. I'd leave it for a couple of hours, even blast it off with a hairdryer, and then you're good to go. But 20 sheets. So to put this through your printer, get a thin piece of copy paper, put a little bit of the Cadence stencil spray on that copy paper, put the rice paper on top, it won't leave any residue, and then feed it through your printer. And that will give you a brilliant, brilliant finish, okay? So if you want 20 sheets of A4 pure print rice paper, shot rice, $12.99, okay? Now then, this product you're going to get 2 of, okay? So it's a double bundle. It's £11.98. It's the Cadence Decoupage Plus glue, and it's matte. It's a 90ml bottle. Have we done it as a single instead of a double?
A single, and it is $5.99.
Okay, it's a single and it's $5.99. Get 2. Okay. Now then, I'm just going to go and see if I can find what I wanted to show you with this, because there's a thing. Here we are. Right. So when I was painting the inside of the wardrobe, I had to keep going and adding more and more and more coats, because I ended up with this. And the best way I can describe it, and it's not a very nice, pleasant way at all, but it looks nicotine stained, because the dust residue, and the MDF's cleaned, but there's always a little bit. And as you put something that's fluid on top of it, it picks up that colour, and it looks like it's been stained at the edge. So I wanted to try and solve that problem for you and for me. So I tried putting a layer of our Cadence matte varnish on first, our decoupage glue. Look at the difference. It's clean. So what that varnish does is twofold. First of all, it seals that MDF, so it stops it from all that paint soaking in, because the paint's the expensive bit. That's the bit that you want to use as little as possible, but get as good a finish as possible. So if you go over your MDF just with a brush or a piece of sponge, even better, first, then paint it, that makes a massive, massive difference. It literally goes from that, which isn't pleasant at all, to that, which is just clean and crisp. And then you can always go over the top of it, especially if you're using your rice papers. That'd be great, okay? So, shop glue.
Yep.
It's $5.99, and you get a 90ml bottle, okay? It's a brilliant product, that. You can use it for all sorts of different things. Yes, Andrew?
The metal findings
are
at 40%.
40% of these now are in people's baskets. I'm not surprised. That's a cracking price, that, to get all of those. And they work in combination with each other, which is really cool. Right, next we've got our shop varnish. Now, I wanted to add this in because if you are doing your rice papers or you're using your MDF and it's going to get a lot of touching and opening drawers and shutting drawers and opening doors, this is going to be brilliant. So we've got your acrylic matte varnish, which is the matte version of the Aquastone. So you're going to get that one. And you're also going to get your Aquastone varnish in there as well. Shop varnish, $8.99.
Yeah, I know.
Is that right?
I'm just double checking on which bottles they get.
Oh, good grief. Okay. Right, all right, let's move on then. Let's do this. So, mega. Now then, we brought this bundle last week, I think. This is all 12 of the brand new Cadence Dora finger waxes. We've done Shop Mega, $59.99. This is lovely for very delicately edging your MDF. So if you look down here, it just finishes off that edge, adds that little bit of shine and sparkle onto the edges of your covered pieces, and I think it just finishes everything off. So let's go through the colours for you, and then you can just see how beautiful these are. So we've got white gold. I'm going to open them. I'm going to be really naughty and open them all. Let's see. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So a very soft, gentle gold there, and it has that lovely shimmer. Then you've got the pearl. Don't need to open the pearl because that's just a very soft white. You've got black, which is amazing. You would have seen David using that to pick up all the little crevices that you've got in your projects. Then we've got the apple green, which is just delicious. And look at the shine and the shimmer that you get right the way through. These are the Dora waxes. So these have those ground down metal flakes within them, which is fabulous, which is what gives it that reflection and that refraction. You've then got your antique pink, which is David's favourite colour. Very, very pretty. And you also get the sky blue. And I love the fact that we can bring all 12 because then whatever colour paper you're using, you're kind of guaranteed you're going to have one that will go with it. You've then got your Altin gold. And this is a little bit of a brighter gold. Oh, look at that. I mean, that just looks magnificent. Look at the shimmer and shine on that. Isn't that just an incredible product? I love that. No?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Then we've got the malachite. So you've got the malachite in here as well. I mean, look at that. That's almost got like a greeny gold to it, but a very lovely, rich, that's really opulent. And I know this sounds weird, but I call that more of a masculine gold, you know, because it's got that dark undertone. Then you've also got the silver, and this is very, very pretty. So you've got the silver there.
2 of those.
Oh, sorry, you get 2 of the matte ones. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Right, I'll just finish this and then I'll recap that. Then we go on to my favourite colour ever, which is the dark orchid. I mean, that is just opulent. It's incredible product, and it's water-based. So when you open it, you don't get that smell of boot polish. It's not solvent-based. Also means that you can paint with it, which is fab. This is another one of my favourites. This looks like petrol. You know, when you see oil and water, it's a gorgeous, oh, it would be, wouldn't it? The only one. There we go. Look at that. How rich are these? They're just sumptuous. My mum would have said. She liked that word. Right, see if I can get that back on. Yeah, there we go. Right, that'll come back, sort that out in a minute. And then we've got one of the nicest ones of all in the new ones. Look how beautiful that is. That's super pretty. It's such a lovely neutral that will go with all of your papers. I think it's a fabulous one. So if you want all 12, Shop Mega, it's $59.99. So you've got a cracking saving on that. And you will get all 12 of the brand new finger waxes. I'm going to have to put my nail right in there, aren't I? I'll sort that out after the show. Otherwise, I'll end up covered in it. Right, so just to recap this for you. Your Shop Varnish, you're getting 2 of the matte varnish, which is great. Yep.
So it is fully allocated.
Right.
If they didn't want to, please take out your baskets so someone else can put it in.
What do you mean if they didn't want to?
If they thought it was...
Oh, right. Okay. So if you thought it was aquastone and matte, please take it out if you don't decide you don't want it so somebody else can have it. But you're actually getting 2 of the matte ones, which is good because we've done a lot with aquastone, and you might not want that shiny finish on your MDF, but it'll just seal it. So that's a cracker. Right. I'm going to jump to this one, which is your, where am I? Here. Yes, MDF accessory kit. So Shop Craft, we've put together, so Stephanie said, what do you want in? So I asked for the new Boya metallic paint in the silver because of the colours that I've used on mine. So this is what you use to colour that furniture. When you put your first layer on, you'll think, oh, that's a bit wishy-washy. Dry it off, then keep putting layers on until you're happy with the finish, because it doesn't cover it, it's metal. So it bonds to it, but it just takes a few build-up of layers. So thinner layers, thinner coverage, build up those layers. You get 4 of the sanding blocks, which is brilliant, because even though your SVG files will fit, you literally, I just sand the edges anyway just to seal it in. And then you're also getting one of my top 3 Cadence products, which is this cut and use foam. So for applying your paint on your surfaces, really good for smoothing down your MDF when you've laid that paper on top, getting any air bubbles out if you've got it, but just a phenomenal, phenomenal product. I love that. It's just the best application for paint that I've ever used because it doesn't draw it in. Also, if you're going to paint the inside of your MDF, because the files are for the outside, if you're going to paint the inside, you want to stay away from those little slots, don't you? Because if that gets painting, it's not all going to slot together. So this is the best thing to use, because if you're using a paintbrush, every time you do that with a paintbrush, it will push the paint further into the bristles. So you end up with a little bit of clump inside, and you've got to get a pair of tweezers in and get rid of it. So what we're going to use is use this foam, go away from the little slot and then fill in. Right, so that is Shop Craft. You get all of that for $11.99. Right, the last one I'm going to go to is this, which is your Shop Magic, Cadence Magic Bond and Seal Starter Kit. You get 5 pieces in here. And we're going to open this out so we can show you. This is the one that has the actual glue that blows my mind. The one that you can put over rice paper, leave it to cure, and then go in the dishwasher. I mean, how is that even a thing? I don't know, but that's Cadence for you. Right, so bond and seal. So first of all, you're getting your gloss finish in there. And this is a really good way to try all the different mediums that Cadence bring us. So that's your gloss. Then you've got your matte bond and seal. Then you've got your, this is the one that goes through the dishwasher, which is just ridiculous. I think that's just phenomenal. Then you've also got your fabric glue. And last but by no means least, and these are all 59ml bottles, you've got the one that adds that antique finish to it, that antique look. So all 5 of those, Shop Magic, $14.99. Right, I'm going to take my post-it notes with me, so I've got all my things. Come round here with me, because we're going to have a look at some of these USBs, because I've got them all down to $9.99 for you. I know. Now then, papers. I've got them all at $9.99, Andrew.
Don't go to Steampunk yet, I'll double check it.
Okay, right, so first of all, Treasure d'Amour. Now, this is the one that I used for the desk tidy. So I used this one with the hydrangea on for the desk tidy. And did I use the other one from this as well? This is the one that I prepped to do my demos with today. So if I show you this, and this is printed on, not on our laser printer, but on our desktop, not a desktop, inkjet. What am I talking about today? I'm so excited that you've got all this MDF. I'm losing my words. But look how beautifully that prints. This is on the 140 pure print, because you don't need thick paper to cover the MDF. The strength is there in that MDF itself, which is fab. But look how beautifully they print. I think this is a fabulous USB. I'd absolutely, if you haven't got it already, pop this one on your basket, because you're going to love it. This is like getting all those beautiful fancy papers that we spend a small fortune on, and then we never want to use them because they're too nice. And when we do use them, we run out of the one that we love the most, and then we can't get hold of it anymore. Have you been there? Because I have many, many times. This way, you can print it when you want it, on what you want. And that's the joy of buying digital. Well, it's a USB. So you're actually getting a physical product with this. So you're getting all of those lovely, lovely designs. And then you also get these as well. So you've got more on here. So you're getting 40. And then what we've done with some of them is pulled out the elements and done them on sheets so that you can then print those off and cut them out, which is fab. So that is Treasure d'Amour. Please get that one. It's beautiful. Honestly, this is the one that I go back to time and time and time again, because it's just, I mean, these papers are absolutely exquisite. just stunning. In fact, stay there, Sam. I'm going to go and grab this desk tidy so you can see what that hydrangea one looks like when it's on the MDF itself. Look how lovely this is. Isn't it beautiful? And the great thing about a lot of these, especially this one in particular, is this one I had to cut with the A4 landscape, okay? But actually, it doesn't matter because you wouldn't know that that paper wasn't the right way around because there's so much detail in it. And that's what papers like this are all about. It's layer on layer on layer on layer on layer of design. And it's a lovely, lovely way. I mean, that's just beautiful, isn't it? I love it. Absolutely love it. Right. So, Treasure d'Amour is Shop Amour. It's $9.99. $9.99. I know. Crazy, right? Right, let's move that one over here. So the next one is Charming Chinoiserie. Now, this is one that David worked on. It is Shop Charm. What are you giggling at, Andrew?
Chinoiserie.
Chinoiserie. That's how you say it.
I know.
I don't
It's a funny word.
It is a funny word. Shop Charm, $9.99. You've got a £20 saving on this one.
10%.
10% of this is now in people's baskets. How opulent is this? I mean, this is just magnificent. And please, 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 when you've made your MDF, will you share it on our Facebook page? Highlight your creativity, because I'd love to see what you're doing. So you've got all of these with the tigers and the zebras. Love that. Look at these. I mean, imagine these on that MDF. That is absolutely stunningly beautiful, as is that. And we're starting to turn some of these into fabrics, aren't we, Sam? Which is very exciting as well. Stay tuned if you're a fabric crafter, because we've got lots of goodies coming up for you this year. So all of these beautiful ones, you even get your animals up here as well, so if you wanted to do that. Then we go into more of the oriental look. So you've got your fabulous, I mean, these are just beautiful. The peacocks in there, you've got your cranes rather, different peacocks sat on the branch. You've got all your florals down here. Then you've got all these really rich, opulent reds and oranges and golds. I mean, it just screams expensive, doesn't it? But it's not, because it's $9.99 with a £20 saving. Then we go on to these paisleys and the different with the feathers and just incredibly detailed designs, which is an absolute joy. And when you print these off, if you were anything like me yesterday, I was printing papers off, I just kept squealing. Stephanie's like, you all right? Because she sat next to me playing on the sketch, and she was squealing and I was squealing, and Diane was looking over to say, what on earth's going on in that corner? But it was just fabulous. And then look at these to finish these off. I mean, these printed on rice paper on your MDF would look absolutely magnificent. So that's your Charming Chinoiserie. That one is Shop Charm, $9.99. Next, we've got a lovely one. Now then, let me just get the right paper, and then I'm not taking anywhere from anywhere else. Right, next one is Shop Flawless. Now, this is your Flawless Fantasy. So if you love, I've used these before on some of the projects as well. Look how ethereal these are, with that butterfly in the middle, the stag. And you can see what I mean about layer on layer on layer on layer of design, but it works. And these are absolutely fabulous. You've got an alphabet in there, so you could be cutting around those and personalising your projects. You've got one with a little fairy tale castle in the background, another one there. You've got one with a white stag with gold antlers. That's rather special. You've got the little pumpkin houses down here with the sunflowers. So a really eclectic mix on this one. This one is Shop Flawless. This is $9.99 with a £20 saving as well. I love that. Fairy tales.
Limited stock.
Limited stock on this one. I'm not surprised. These are absolutely, excuse me, exquisite. Love the nod to steampunk in here as well, with the clock face, with the wings. Your balloons. You've got your cogs and your clocks on there as well. You've got your blimps on there. This one with all the cogs and the flowers, that's one that I've definitely used on projects before, because I can see what that looks like. And I have to say, when I'm printing off papers for MDF, I like printing it on an inkjet rather than a laser, because a laser gives you that almost like that eggshell finish, that very, very slight sheen. I actually prefer the matte, but you choose. And if you've only got an inkjet, adding the gloss varnish on top will make it look like that anyway, but it gives you a choice. But that, I mean, look how beautiful that is. I'm going to use these next time, and then we'll get it done as a digital download if this sells out. And you've got all these fabulous papers on here as well. So you've got some really lovely textures on there, and then you've also got all your tags, etc., and toppers on there. So on a ScanNCut, if you wanted to cut these out, you would measure the circle, bring on a circle from the machine's memory, make it the correct size, scan in the piece of paper, and cut that out. It's gone. Right, okay, that one's gone. Right, still not going to the steampunk. Okay, we're fixing the price on the steampunk. I'll come back to that. Let's go spin the wheel. This is really exciting.
So
I'm going to spin it.
103 people.
103 people wrote spin. Well done. Up early, bright and early in the morning. I love that.
I'm going to draw a winner.
I'm going to draw a winner, and then I'm going to spin it in the opposite direction.
And the winner is Julie W.
Julie W. Ready? Shall we spin the wheel? Right, Julie, let's go. Ready? Oh, we've got the dark blue. Oh, no, look, this time I can't. Oh, no, I got, oh, see, these colours. So that's 2 festival tickets. 100 points you've won. 100 points credited to your account. Yes, that's amazing. Right.
Email help@highlightcrafts and we'll sort it out for you.
What he said. Email help@highlightcrafts. Honestly, it's like having this little thing like that. Next one. Start typing winner.
Wheel.
Wheel. Oh, gosh. It feels like it should be next Wednesday, not this Wednesday today. You know, when you've had a really busy week and your head's like that. Feel a bit like that this morning. Right, I want to talk to you about this ScanNCut deal that we've got, because this is extraordinary. Now, we launched this yesterday. We had a whole team meeting and we decided that what we're going to do this year, when we go to shows, so this weekend we've got Sandown, next weekend after that is Glasgow, then we've got NEC, and then we've got Exeter at West Point. And when we go to the shows, we always bring a deal that we don't normally do on live shopping, because when you buy it from the show, you don't get your club discount and you don't get your loyalty points. So we do a better price than we would normally do on live shopping. So what we decided to do was bring that show special price to you. But here's the thing, you do get your club discount and you do get your points and you do get free shipping. So all the good stuff. Right, so why this machine and why do you need a ScanNCut? Well, there's loads of reasons why you need a ScanNCut, because it's, in my opinion, the best cutting machine on the market. If there was a better one out there, I would try my best to demonstrate it, but this is different to all of them in many, many ways. So let me talk you through some of those differences. First of all, this is the SDX 1200. It's the one that sits on my desk out there. It's the one that sits on my desk at home. It's the one that sits on Amanda's desk, the one that we use when we do our festivals and academy. This is the model that we use. It has the 5-inch screen, but the content inside this machine is extraordinary value. And I've researched some of the other machines. Some of them you get 16 shapes and then it's a subscription. And it's just, you know, the value for money is actually with what's within this machine as well as everything else that you get with it. So inside the machine's memory pre-installed is 1,303 images, shapes, icons, phrases, all sorts of different things in here. It's brilliant. You've got 17 full fonts, which means uppercase, lowercase, numbers and punctuation. And all of this is scalable. So you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. It's just phenomenal. And then on top of that, and if any of you saw me, not last week, was it last week? I have no idea. But I bought a sewing machine. I'm really excited about the sewing machine. And I've seen a couple of you say, if you're going on that journey with the ScanNCut to start cutting out quilt blocks, can we come with you? Absolutely. So we're going to video the whole thing and we'll put little snippets out once I get time to get started. And we'll go on that journey together, because I think that's really exciting. And we've never really done a lot with fabric with the ScanNCut, but let me tell you, it cuts fabric like a dream. So the reason I want to use this to do all my cutting out is because there's 100 quilt blocks pre-installed inside the machine's memory. If you're never going to do fabric, use them for paper piecing, okay? Simple, all right? Now then, if on a Monday you think, right, so old-fashioned way, you'd have gone out, you'd have bought blocks of dies, right? So I bought this set of dies to do that block at 8 inches. Then I need to buy that set of dies to do that block at 9 inches. Then I need to buy another set to do that block at 10 inches, and it gets really expensive. By the time you've done that, you've probably paid for most of your machine. So on a Monday, you want to do an 8-inch block. So you select one of the blocks that's pre-installed, it will bring you an image, you click on a shape, it shows you exactly where they go within that quilt block. You then set the size to the size you want the block to be when it's stitched, and it works it all out for you. So it works out how many of each shape you need, it flips them if they need flipping them, and then in the settings there's something called seam allowance, and you can set it to 1/4 of an inch. You also get the pen holder with this machine, and you get 2 erasable pens, one that's water soluble and one that's air erasable. So you can scan your piece of fabric in, position the shapes where you want them to be. For a beginner sewer like me, it will draw them on the fabric, so I've got a line to sew to, so I know I'm going straight. And then also it will then cut it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Imagine how quick that's going to be. But here's the best thing. On a Tuesday, you decide you want that as an 11-inch block. You literally change the settings to 11 inches and it works it all out for you. And you've got 100 pre-installed in here. Now, Brother are known for their sewing machines, embroidery machines. Stephanie's just importing a robin into Skitch because she's now happy. She's sitting there now playing away with it, which is fabulous. All that content is inside the machine, but the other thing that's built in is a 300 DPI scanner from Brother, because that's the other thing that they've done for decades, right? Scanners, printers, etc., etc. The difference that that makes on your creative journey is absolutely amazing, even down to simple things like taking one of the papers that you've printed off, being able to bring on one of the SVG files that matches your MDF, scan that paper in so you can see it and position that file exactly where you want it. When you scan to USB, it's a 600 DPI scanner. So if you're scanning in things like photographs, important documents, all that kind of thing, use it as a scanner and you can save it to USB. I did it when I was changing my car and they needed me to sign some documents. So they emailed them over. I scanned the documents in, printed them off, scanned them off, signed them, sent them back attached to an email. It was so easy to do. But for crafters, stamped images, you know, your own drawings, things like that, you can scan them in and cut them out. If you're lining up artwork, like our reflections, so you've got your cutting file, you imagine having your cutting file on a computer screen and your paper image down here, it's very difficult to line those two up. With this, you scan the reflection in, we do a matching cutting file that you lay over the top, and it's a really easy process. So that's what's inside the machine. In the box, you're also going to get your cutting blade, because it wouldn't be much good if they didn't give you one of those, would it? So you're going to get your cutting blade that will cut anything from a thin vellum right the way up to grey board, mylar, Doflex, all those different materials that we do. Then we've also got your fabric blade in here, which is brilliant. I mean, I can't tell you how good that fabric blade is. Then you've got your pen holder for your pens, because you get your 2 erasable pens and your 6 drawing pens. Then you also get your 2 mats, so your low tack mat and your standard mat, okay? And you also get some iron-on stabilizer for your fabric and a high contact adhesive sheet that you're going to put onto a low tack mat, and that's going to hold your fabric in place unstabilized while it cuts all those pieces out for you. It's an incredible opportunity. This machine should be £599. That's the recommended retail from Brother. We're doing it as the show special, so while the show season's on, £439. So you've got £160 saving. Then you get your points on top, and you get your club discount, and you don't pay any postage. That's amazing. So if you've been sitting on the fence, now's the time to jump off, get this in your basket and check it out. And lots of you went for this yesterday. And actually, you know what? If we do 4 collections of 2 red robins, and let's say they're £75 each, that's £300. You buy those 4 collections on a USB, costs you $49.99. So you've already saved £250. Do that twice, you've paid for your machine and you've got change. Right, let's demo this. Have we still not got the steampunk one sorted out, Andrew? Not yet. Right, we're on it. What do you want me to do a demo on the ScanNCut? Do you want me to show how the SVG files work for the MDF? Lovely. That's the answer that I wanted. Thank you. Like that answer. Right, so I've put the SVG files onto a USB. You don't have to do that. You can send them via Canvas from your downloads, which we talked about yesterday. So if I go into the USB, we're going to retrieve the information from the USB, okay? Craft Master MDF Kits. And I've got Bits and Bobs box, desk tidy and wardrobe. For some reason I've got them twice, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So let's do the wardrobe, for example. So you've got the drawer housing, which is the bit that the drawers go into, the drawers, the wardrobe decorative header, and the wardrobe plinth. Now these are all named. The names on these are matching the ones that Andrew did on that downloadable PDF that tells you exactly on each board what each piece is. Teeth back in. Right, so let's do wardrobe. So we'll go into the actual wardrobe itself. Then you've got the wardrobe back, the wardrobe size, the wardrobe top, the wardrobe doors, and the wardrobe, what does that one say?
Shelf.
Shelf. Well done. I was like, what does SH become? Right, wardrobe doors. Okay, so these are the doors that are going to then fit perfectly over that MDF. So I'm not going to group each one together. They're already grouped, so the inside aperture is already there. But what we're going to do is take a piece of this paper that I literally printed off on our inkjet printer yesterday in the office, just a box standard one from your local supermarket. It's nothing special. And then I'm going to burnish it down with my scraper. If you are going for a ScanNCut and you've got that £160 saving, spend a little tiny bit of it on one of these because it's brilliant. I went to Brother with the spatula that comes with it, and it's okay, and it's quite good for getting really fiddly little things off, but for cleaning your mat and burnishing your card down, that's much better. Right, we're going to scan this in. So this is one of the many reasons why you need a ScanNCut in your life. And it's interesting because I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I knew eventually it would get to a stage where people who normally die cut decided to invest in a ScanNCut. But it wasn't for the reasons that I thought it would be. I thought it would be because it's cheaper to buy USBs with files on, digital files, than it is to keep buying metal dies. It's actually because of storage. Storing all those dies. And dies are brilliant. And I store mine on the inside of my cupboard doors in my craft room, and it's magnetic sheeted. So all my dies are on magnetic sheets, and they're all labelled with my Brother label printer, because that's something to do as well. Right, now you can make the background darker and you can also make it lighter, but we're going to work like this. So I want to have this door with that little bit of ivy at the top and a little bit of the florals down the sides. And then on this door, I want it to have more florals at the top. I don't necessarily want it to have that little bit of a butterfly wing down there. And I might actually quite like the word Paris on there as well, so you can just see going down that side that that's what you can do. So all we're going to do now is press OK. Please select and cut. Now, this machine has what I would consider to be a true auto blade. I'm just going to press start and get that cut in. So if you watch this blade housing now, it's going to go along, it's looking at the depth of the material. It then goes onto the paper, has a look at that, goes down, finds out how deep it is, and now what it's doing is adjusting its pressure settings and its blade depth to suit that material. There's other machines that have an auto blade, but it's a drop-down menu where you choose from things like lightweight paper, heavyweight card. I don't know what that means. So having a ScanNCut where it literally does this perfectly for you is an absolute joy. So if I unload that now, I now have the doors cut out perfectly for my wardrobe, and I've got them positioned exactly where I want on those papers. So we've got Paris going down the side of that door like that. We've got these panels that we can use for something else, but I'm just going to grab the MDF for the wardrobe so I can show you how perfectly it fits on the MDF, because that's the thing, isn't it? So look, this is what we photographed yesterday. So you had everything, and then Andrew, bless him, sat and made it into a proper downloadable PDF for you, which is great. Right, so these are the doors. So let's get rid of all that lot. And I'm going to take this one. I love the smell of MDF. Martin came in yesterday as a warehouse manager, and he was like, oh, smell of MDF. I'm like, I love it. It's like bonfire night. And look how perfectly it fits. So if I line that up there, you can see right the way around to there, it's got that fabulous line. It goes right down to the bottom. You've got the line of the MDF there, misses the notch, and then comes all the way down the other side. It's absolutely bang on accurate, which actually surprised me a little bit, because obviously MDF is cut with a laser, and this is cut with a blade. And sometimes, depending on what you're cutting, it can almost push the file in a little bit smaller when you're cutting things like grey board and paper. This, absolutely bang on perfect. How much quicker is that? Because if you didn't have that, you'd be gluing this onto here, you'd be taking the piece out, gluing it on, turning it over on a craft mat with a craft knife, going down the edge like that to cut out that middle. Don't need to do that. And it also means that you get perfect middles, so you can then go back and use those bits for something else, which is just fantastic. Now, what I did with my wardrobe is I opened it up and I took the actual piece of MDF and I measured it, and somewhere on here I've got a ruler. So this is the back now of the doors, because I wanted a panel to go behind here to be able to cut that out. Now, there's two ways of doing this. First of all, you can go back and you can save that into Canvas Workspace, ungroup it, get rid of the aperture that's in the middle, download it, and you've got the perfect size rectangle to be able to put the back of the door so that it looks like a panel in the door, which I think looks really, really pretty. Or you can just measure top to bottom, side to side, and adjust the rectangle. Yes, Andrew?
Which USB were those papers from?
So the Desk Tidy was Treasured a More.
The ones you're using, sorry.
This one,
Yes.
Treasured a More. Treasured a More. It's lovely. It's really pretty. I'll show you that again in a minute. So that's 201 high by, need you to remember this, Sam, because I won't, 201 by 82. Okay, so to do that, you're going to bring on your square, and we're going to go back 2 millimeters because we switched to inches last night, and we're going to make that 201. So just keep pressing the plus button. It's like filling your tank with petrol, that, isn't it? When you try and get it to just £20, and it always goes a penny over, by 82. So we can adjust now these shapes by separating the height and width, and we can make that perfect rectangle that fits behind there. How cool is that? This takes away all the messy of sanding it back. Now, as I said, I work over a bin and I use the sanding blocks, and I very gently just sand the edges, not because I need to get rid of any paper, just to seal it, just to bond it properly like that, and then you can go in with your gilding waxes. But how simple is that? I mean, it's bang on accurate. And to be able to scan your paper in and decide where you want those pieces. So what I would do is I would have kept those on my mat where they are, sent them into Canvas, ungrouped them but not moved them, so just deleted off the apertures, send it back so it's in exactly the same place, put another piece of paper on top, so then the pattern that's on the doors and inside the doors completes the picture. Let me show you what I mean by that. Just come with me, Sam, down here. So if you look here, that's exactly what I did with this wardrobe. So 2 pieces of paper printed exactly the same. I've scanned one of them in and cut out the door, so I've got this little bit of that flower there and that little bit of that rose, and look how that rose then follows through. So you just put another piece of the same paper in exactly the same place on your mat. So if it's in the top left-hand corner, just put it there again, send the file into Canvas, ungroup it, delete the apertures, send it back down without moving it, and then you cut the same thing. And look how it all just follows through. So it looks like it's meant to be there. You can have these open if you wanted to. You could actually get some like chicken wire and put it behind and have it in your kitchen with your little spice rack. But it's a lovely way of making that picture flow through. And I think it's a really, really, really good idea when you've got a scanner in a cutting machine, because that's what you can do. Right, Andrew, do we need to recap anything or do anything else? Do I need to go back to anything?
What have we got? 10 minutes left. We can look at the steampunk USB. There's 2 of them left. It's down to £9.99.
Oh, 2 of them?
Yeah, there's only 2.
Blinking heck. Right, come with me. If you bought the moulds from Emblems yesterday, oh my goodness me. I could have spent a small fortune on that show yesterday. Her design, oh, we've got 1 left. Right, quick. So this is the kind of thing that you get, and I love that. Look how fabulous that is. Oh, all of these different cogs, butterflies in there, seahorses in there, nuts and bolts in there, pipe work, all of this. One left, even a bike chain. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? I love this. Imagine you're doing it for a man's office or a study at home. And then you've got your backing papers as well that all coordinate. You get all your little accessories in here. These are just fabulous. Background papers in here as well. Alphabets. Look at these. Aren't these fantastic? And think about using things like your moulds and that kind of thing on your boxes. Typewriter letters, metal letters. Look at these, all made up with different pieces. Fantastic papers in here if you want a brighter, less grungy looking steampunk. Absolutely fabulous, fabulous value for money. Shop, Steam, £9.99, £20 saving. Absolutely fabulous. Right,
There's
so
not many of the metal fittings left.
right, let's go back and have a look at these metal fittings then, because there's not many of those left and you don't want to miss out on these. In fact, I'm going to grab one. I'm going to show you how to paint it. Let's do that, shall we? So let's grab one of these. So you're getting 2 bags. They've got the little fasteners on. They've got different little fasteners that coordinate. So for example, that one goes with that, like that. So that'll go on one side of the door, that'll go on the other side of the door. But I'm going to show you how to paint one. And I'm using the paint that is in the Shop Craft, the MDF starter kit. So you're going to get your silver metallic paint, one of the new metallics, 4 of the sanding blocks, and your cut and use foam. Right, let me show you what we're going to do with this. We've only got one of those steampunk left, so I'll work on the back of this paper, then I don't get it all over the counter, because that wouldn't go down well, quite rightly. So I'm going to get a paintbrush. So a little paintbrush is all you need. A little bit of this. So give it a quick shake. Put a little bit of paint out there. Oh, it's been a bit rough with that bottle. And then I've just picked up a little flat paintbrush. So get the paint into the brush and almost just dab it on. This would be nice with your waxes as well, if you just wanted to do the wax, because it'll just pick up that detail. Now this is quite an easy one to paint because it's a flat surface and it's covering quite easily. But I also want to do this, and can you see how it wants to, it doesn't sis as in like it beads and it doesn't want to stick to it, because it will stick to it. But you might have to go over and do a second coat on anything that's raised, if you like. But look how fabulous these look. So you can change them to match the papers, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? Everything coordinating together makes your project look professional. And I remember many years ago when K&Co were about, and we used to buy all those fabulous album kits with the albums and the papers and the embellishments and the brads and the stickers and everything else. And our projects look wonderful. And that's what we want to achieve every time we go into our craft room. You know, we're spending our time, we're spending our money on the product. We want it to be the best that it can be. So if I just dry that off now really quickly with my heat gun, you can see then how easy they are to paint. So I'm just going to dry that off. Just a quick blast. Just remember, when you're adding heat to metal, it'll go warm. So be careful. So we're just going to add that, dry that off a little bit. And then if you feel that it needs it, you can go back in with a second coat of paint and just make it more silver, if you like. You're just taking away that tarnished look and making it look still vintage, but absolutely beautiful. And then you could rub over that with a little bit of the finger wax, maybe also on a brush, and just pick out that detail with a different colour. But they're fantastic. Shop Metal is going to get you both of those bags for £19.99. And let me tell you, metal findings are very expensive. I've paid over £20 for 4 feet before now for one of my boxes, but it takes it from looking like an MDF box to looking like a piece of furniture. We're going to spin the wheel again.
You're a winner.
Go on then, let's draw a winner. It's exciting, isn't it? I love this.
103 entries again.
103 entries again. Well done, everybody. Go on.
Don't forget to check out your baskets.
Don't forget
Amanda Connolly.
Amanda Connolly, yes, Amanda. Oh, one quick thing, Mitch, we're on it, okay? She'll know what I mean because she sent me a message this morning. Ready? Spin the wheel. Oh, purple. Which is that? 2 festival tickets. 2 festival tickets. That's exciting. That's a cracking prize. Look at that. I love that. Well done, Amanda. That's so exciting. I love it because you're one of our regular viewers as well, aren't you? Massive thank you from me. I will be back at 11 o'clock, probably doing a scan and cut show with the accessory kits. So tune in for that because you're getting an extra show this week, which is super exciting. Stay tuned for Midweek Mayhem with Amanda and David next. And I will see you back here at 10 o'clock with Stephanie. See you then. Bye.